A lot has been said recently about the fact that Donald Trump is allegedly afraid that Michael Cohen, his former attorney, is going to flip on him and provide information to investigators that could incriminate Donald Trump in some kind of crime. Now, the thing most people have been saying since the beginning of all this is that you can't flip on an innocent man. So if Donald Trump is worried about Cohen flipping, then obviously there's some skeletons in the closet that he doesn't want to come out. And so when CNN's Dana Bash asked White House counselor Kellyanne Conway about this, Kellyanne Conway did what she does best and completely ignored the question and instead went on some kind of insane tirade trying to defend Michael Cohen to keep him in the White House's good graces. Take a look at the recent clip between Kellyanne Conway and CNN's Dana Bash.
Okay, let me get back to the original question, though, which is, at its core, what does the president have to hide that he is worried that Michael Cohen will flip over? Meaning,
no,
what does he have? What information does he have to give?
That wasn't your original question, Dana, respectfully, and that isn't what he's saying in these tweets. In these tweets, he's saying this is a fine family man who he worked with for many years. He thinks he's being treated unfairly.
Well, my initial question was, what does he have to hide if the president didn't do anything wrong? My question is, are you confident, just trying to get at the same answer, the same notion, and see if you can tell me if the president did unequivocally nothing wrong that he is worried that Michael Cohen will tell the feds about?
Dana, the president is, you're asking me, what do I know is in documents over a dozen or so years. I'm telling you that the president's concern has been for Michael Cohen and the way he's been treated. And he has said that again and again in tweets and again with the cameras rolling, with the media in the cabinet room and elsewhere. And why is that? Because I see people go on TV constantly who don't know President Trump at all and say he's loyal to no one but himself. That is completely not true. He stands up for people in his inner circle and people he knows when he thinks they're being treated unfairly. And he's done it again and again. He shows a great sense of loyalty to people whom he thinks is being treated unfairly. But remember, too, this investigation of almost a year was supposed to be about Russian collusion. Look at all the screaming graphics CNN has invested in. Look at all the airtime and the ink spill on this.
But this is separate.
And now we're up in, well, yes,
now
we're up into different
But you said there are
matters.
people on TV who don't know the president. You are on TV and you know the president quite well. You work for the president and you're here on his behalf and behalf of the White House. Can you tell me that the president is to assure the American people that the reason the president isn't tweeting concern about Michael Cohen flipping because he is in potential legal jeopardy given whatever he knows that Michael Cohen has that the feds now have from that search?
Dana, the president is talking about Michael Cohen here. The SDNY has jurisdiction over this. The Southern District of New York has jurisdiction over this case now. And the president has made very clear that he thinks this is an overwrought process.
Let me go to it.
By the way, also to answer your question very pointedly, this president was told 3 times by Jim Comey privately that he wasn't under investigation by the FBI. Comey decided against revealing that publicly and probably should have, in fairness, just the way he should have told President-elect Trump on January 6th in Trump Tower that his political opponents had funded some phony dossier against him. The Washington Post, of all places, reported less than 2 weeks ago that this president has been told he's not a target of the investigation. So I think we're answering your question in many different ways.
Yes,
you just want to now take it into a different jurisdiction.
Well, absolutely. I mean, I didn't take it in a different jurisdiction.
That's what a process is for.
The president's own Justice Department took it
right, but
in
all
another
this diverts attention away from everything
because
this
they got
president
information
is doing.
that they felt was important enough and that a judge felt was important enough to raid his personal attorney's office.
Kelly, you don't do your boss any favors when you blatantly ignore the question that you've been asked. And then at the very end, when you're like, and to answer your question directly, here's an answer that's not even close to the question that you had asked me. Yeah, that doesn't do any good. All you're doing every time you get in front of a camera is making your boss look more guilty. You did not help him out in any way possible, but it is funny to watch you try to pander to Michael Cohen at this point, and Donald Trump's tweets pandering to Michael Cohen, because obviously you guys, it's not about loyalty. It's about trying to say that, hey, we really, 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 really like you. Please, for the love of God, don't turn over all that horrible information that we know you have. If you're thinking about subscribing to our channel, I strongly encourage you to do that. But if you're not thinking about subscribing, I would encourage you to start thinking about it, and then once you're thinking about it, actually go and do it. You can see the subscribe button right there on the screen, or if you're watching on a different platform, go to youtube.com/TheRingOfFire.